I made a terrible mistake. My mom gave me and my brothers everything. After Dad passed away, she worked 3 exhausting jobs just to make sure we had food to eat and clothes to wear. Years went by, and we all grew up and got married. My wife and I decided to let my mother live with us, but soon my wife began complaining. "I don't want her here anymore," she said one day with anger in her voice. The tension grew, and one day my wife snapped, "Take her out to the forest. I don't care where you take her, just make sure she doesn't come back." I didn't want to do it, but I gave in to her pressure. I packed my mom's belongings and told her, "We're going to visit my brothers." I couldn't even look her in the eye as we drove silently through the heavy snow. When we arrived at the forest, I stopped the car, turned to her and said, "Wait here, I'll be back soon." But deep inside, I had no intention of coming back. I drove away, leaving her standing alone in the freezing cold. Guilt started consuming me, but I pushed the thought aside. Suddenly, as I drove down the road, a flash of lightning struck a tree, blocking my path. I was stuck. As I sat in the car, panicking, I saw a vision of my father. He looked at me with disappointment in his eyes and said, "How could you leave her? She sacrificed everything for you." In his hand, he held a mirror that showed my mom, lying on the ground, crying and shivering in the snow. My heart sank, and I knew I had made the worst mistake of my life. Without a second thought, I turned the car around and raced back. When I arrived, I found her lying in the snow, her tears freezing on her cheeks. I ran to her, wrapped her in the warm blankets I had brought, and hugged her tightly. "Mom, I'm so sorry," I said, crying. "Please forgive me. I will never leave you again." If you love your mom, don't ever take her for granted. She is your greatest blessing. And if you agree, subscribe.